What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and today is an exciting day. It's iPhone day, it's Apple day, and I can't decide whether I want the 6 Plus or the 6 regular. The size just kind of scares me, and so I need to test them out, put them through their paces. Today we're unboxing the iPhone 6 regular edition, which is what I'm leaning towards. I really want to test them both out and see which one offers me the best experience, and then go with that one and get rid of the other. But we're going to open and unbox the iPhone 6. Now, for comparison, I do have the iPhone 5S. This is my current phone. I love it. I used a Galaxy 4 for a while. I used an iPhone 5 for a while, and I fell back into the iPhone 5S because it just, I really like the operating system, the ease of use, and I kind of grew to like this more old-fashioned, smaller form factor. So the 6 Plus kind of scares me. The 6 regular, though, seems to be a good upgrade. What we have here for you today is an iPhone 6 128GB gold phone. And as I open this up, we will see how it fares and compares to what we're used to. It is like a Galaxy, basically, I think, size-wise. That's kind of how I like to view it. You'll see the beautiful gold on the back, shiny and supreme, and on the front, we have our bigger screen. You'll see it is not super different, but definitely different enough to be a noticeable size increase. It does have the rounded edges, so Apple has lost sort of the square form factor, the rectangular, boxy nature of the previous iPhones, and gone to a very rounded form factor. It also has moved the power button to the side, which is more of an Android thing as opposed to the traditional top power button on your older iPhone. Let's boot this bad boy up and see what it looks like when it's actually turned on, take a look at some of its features, and dive deeper in. Okay, so we're beginning to get this phone primed and pumped and ready for our usage. The first screen you'll notice is something that is unique for these iPhone 6s, and that is a display zoom screen. So you can see, if I hold this up here for you guys, that there is a standard view and a zoom view. Now the zoom view seems to look much more like an iPhone 5 or 4 with the big chunky buttons. The standard view, though, takes advantage of the bigger screen real estate to shrink the apps and allow for more on your screen. Now, I'm going to go with the standard because what's the point of a bigger phone if you're not going to take advantage of its better sizing and features? We'll use that, we'll welcome ourselves to the iPhone, and we'll get in. 12 new voicemails. It's bringing in all my stuff, of course, but we have the screen here. And again, we'll use the iPhone 5 as a comparison. I'll open this one up, and you'll see that from the home screens, it's noticeably bigger. You've got definitely more space. It's not as big as the iPhone 6 Plus, obviously, which is a behemoth of a phone, but it's bigger enough that you're going to notice it. Right when you hold it in your hands, it makes this phone feel small. And if you are an iPhone 4 user making the upgrade, it's going to make it even a bigger difference. Now, I'll briefly show you, just for a split second, for comparison's sake. Whoa, that was almost a big mistake. I will show you the iPhone 6 Plus. Like I said, I'm trying to decide which one I want to use, and so I'm kind of testing them both out like you test drive cars. And you'll see that we've got a much bigger screen size here. Goodness gracious, stop telling me things, Apple. The 6 Plus is just massive. It's really large, and it's noticeable. This is the 6, and it dwarfs it. That'll be a video coming later where I kind of use both and then compare and sort of give you the lowdown on that. But for now, let's investigate this a little further. It comes with iOS 8. I'm not going to dive into every feature there, but you're getting stuff like Passbook, Health, Newsstand, iBooks. The second screen has GarageBand, iMovie, Pages, Numbers, iTunes U, Podcast, traditional Apple fare, but you are getting all of that right out of the gate. One of the big new features for the iPhone 6 is the Apple Pay, or whatever it's called, system where you can input your credit cards and swipe at selected retailers that have those credit card things with the little swipe space on them. Some phones do that already. They're working on some like electronic credit cards that will be able to take advantage of that, but your phone now from Apple can as well. Places like Starbucks, Staples, and more, and I assume more and more as these phones become popular. Just as a comparison, the Vita has been used as a oh my god, the iPhone 6 Plus is as big as a Vita. Well, the 6 is not. It does share a similar, in a little bit way compared to the old phone. I also have an iPad mini here for you just to see, people are saying, oh, the Plus is as big as a mini. It's not, and the 6 definitely isn't as well. This phone cannot go landscape. If I hold it sideways, it won't do what the Plus will do, and that's one of the biggest differences, but most people are not going to be fazed by that. You're used to using your phone in portrait mode. If I bring up a text message here, we'll be able to see the keyboard and get a little bit closer into what that looks like. So here you have the two text message screens. You'll see that the keys are a little bit more spaced out on the 6 in comparison to the 5, but it does basically share the same shape. iOS 8 allows you to mess with the keyboards and mix those up for the first time ever, which is nice, but this still remains a very one-hand phone. You can reach across the screen with one hand, both horizontally and for the most part vertically. But if you're like me and have smaller hands and you cannot reach the top of your screen, you can do this squish feature where you don't double press the home button, but you double tap it lightly. And if we double tap the home button, it will shrink everything down to the bottom half of the screen. Now the idea here is you can reach everything with one hand, reach across with your thumb. This is very convenient for people like me who don't have as big of hands. I'm 6'2", but my hands are shaped like someone who's 5'6", and therefore it's hard for me to get to the top. I would have to slide my hand up and down. In terms of game usage and video usage, I think this will fare very, very well, so let's check those out. Now, what we have here is some footage from my Destiny series on YouTube, and for the YouTube movie viewing experience, this expanded screen is definitely going to boost that considerably. You'll look at the iPhone 5 and be like, hey, that extra space is going to make my eyes smile a little bit more. It's not massive, it's not the iPad that you probably want for travel or the laptop that you want for long periods away, but if you're using this just in the car, on the train, at work, in between things, I think the expanded screen is going to definitely factor in and you will notice it. Let's see how a game fares. What I've booted up here is Rovio's newest game, Plunder Pirates, that released this week in anticipation of the new phones, and I think gaming in general is going to get a big boost from these new releases. Not only is the processor stronger, but the expanded space allows for more stuff to be on screen and more room for you to place your fingers and mess with it. I'm not going to play with it now, even though it looks pretty cool, but I think this is going to be a better gaming platform as the screen increases in size. My desire to game on it, more like a Vita or something like I mentioned previously, increases as well. One other thing that I thought people might be curious about is the camera. Now, the camera has definitely improved. The 6 regular comes with digital image stabilization, whereas the 6 Plus is optical, but you'll still notice it takes pretty good photos. My first photo I'll show you right here is of me, and if I can get it up, come on. Got so many things loading in from my from my iCloud as it just carries everything over. This is a front photo taken with the front camera of me and Venom from Disney Infinity. It doesn't look markedly different than the iPhone 5. In fact, I can't even really tell a difference. If we look at the back camera, you'll see a photo of Groot from Disney Infinity, but what I wanted to use this one for is some of the new editing features in iOS 8. You'll notice there's some different options down below, and we can bring up things like lighting. So this photo is pretty darn dark, and you'll get to see a preview of lightening and darkening the photo down below. So we can bring Groot back into better view with some brightness, and maybe we want to go in and add some color as well. These are options that are more sophisticated than what I'm used to on the iPhone 5, and I definitely appreciate it as someone who takes a lot of photos and utilizes Instagram and all that jazz. So we'll add some color back in, saturate him up a little bit, and what we have is a much better looking photo that definitely screams Groot's supremacy over the superhero world. He looks great, he looks bold, he looks vibrant, and he looks ready for battle. Last but not least, the phone does come with the traditional Apple fare. They didn't forget you here. You got your headphones, you've got your charging cube. I wonder when they're going to make this just a single thing, or maybe a triangle or a diamond or something. And you have your charging cord. Also, Apple is selling cases. Companies like SwitchEasy and Incipio are working on theirs. But for now, we have things straight from Apple. There were either silicone cases or there was leather cases. I opted for a silicone case. This is a vibrant green color. We'll bust this one open here and check it out. It's just simple fare, but something fun to show you guys as we wrap up. It feels all fuzzy and fluffy, and we can dive our iPhone 6 into it, and voila, we have a phone that is ready to go, ready for outside use. Show the world our iPhone 6. I really like the upgrades being made here. I don't think they're mandatory. If you have a 5, this might not be the most important upgrade, but it's definitely a bigger upgrade than we've had in years past, going from the 5 to the 5S, so on and so forth. If you're a 4 user, I think this is a must-have, and for many people who are tech-heavy users, you're going to want this phone. The increased screen size, the updated pixel count, and processor speeds are something you're going to get value out of, as well as things like the Apple Pay and other features that you will find interesting. As a heavy user myself who uses this for business, emails, YouTube, recording, and more, the 1080p 60 frame per second video is a big boost, and lots of other things that would utilize the bigger screen really matter to me. So I give this a big thumbs up. I think it's a nice upgrade. Apple finally steps into the ring with a bigger screen phone and still delivers their very pure and perfect interface. I love it. I'm really excited to have it and explore more. Like I said, I'm still undecided if I'm a Plus fan or just a regular fan. I'm leaning towards regular right now, and I'll probably decide in the next few days. So the iPhone 6 gets a thumbs up from GhostRobo. I like it a lot, and I want to know what you guys think. Are you a fan of the iPhone 6, the iPhone 6 Plus, or do you not plan to upgrade at all? Let me know in the comments below your preference and what you're thinking. I'm curious to find out. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. A like means a lot to me, and you guys mean a lot to me. So I hope you had fun. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Until next time, guys and girls, drink some hot chocolate, and we will see you all later.